I mean, I walked in here with this Tiffany blue or GoTymeBank blue jersey. You immediately paid attention, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think you would have had the same excitement or intrigue or interest if I came here in my yellow and black.
In your view, what do you think the future of banking looks like?
I definitely do not want my son nor your daughter to be experiencing banking the way we did.
What is your point of differentiation?
So you can plan your trip, plan where you want to go, but your transactions are free.
With the rebrand, what has been some of the most surprising things that you had from customers about?
I don't know about surprising, but for me, I was definitely concerned about...
Can you please give us, you had it first on Passion Brands, like what else do you have, up your sleeves?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I think...
Pat. It's Pat on Brands. Watch how you brand it, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Let it be branded, man. A pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Pat on Brands podcast with me, Pat Mahlangu. Today, we have another special guest. And by the way, let me make this quick announcement. We have a new space. You'll see this space more often than not. And yeah, it's work in progress. So journey with us. Lucia Malapane.
Yes, sir.
It seems like you were clear from the onset that you're going to end up in marketing and branding because you have a BCom in marketing from the great University of Johannesburg. At least we have one thing in common. Yeah. Where does the love for marketing and branding start for you? Yeah.
So I mean, you're saying it looks like I always wanted to be in marketing, but I don't think so. If I'd really look at my journey, but for me, I guess the love for marketing, or what drew me into marketing, is my answer is a little bit twofold. You probably relate to the second part of my answer, but I mean, when you're in high school, I think when you get, they call it grade 10 now, you get to choose subjects and all of that. So
what did you do?
I automatically chose commercial subjects, right? And then one of the subjects is business economics. So there was a chapter in this business economics book that spoke about marketing specifically. Wow. So when I was reading it and I got to see that, it's quite important to understand customer psychology and human behavior, and you get to work with like a product development team, and you get to take this product that is being built and kind of put it in the market to either meet a need that isn't met or to actually make people have a need that they didn't think they need, right? Or that they had. So this product is, so those were some of the things that actually made me think about, okay, this might be.
Did you have other options?
Accounting, but I didn't really like numbers.
You're not
horrible in mathematics. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But I think just taking those bits of understanding human behavior, product development, meeting a need in the market, or creating a need that doesn't exist in the market, those are some of the things that made me find it a little bit interesting. And the second bit, which, like I said, I think you'd relate to the most, is we all watch Generations. We all saw ourselves being working at New Horizons at some point.
So many communications.
Right? So those two bits, I guess, I was like, okay, from a textbook perspective, I get it. And then when I kind of seen it come into fruition with your New Horizons and all of that, I was like, okay,
this is what I want to do.
This might be something that I could do.
Amazing. Then you get into UJ?
Yes. So I got into UJ and I studied BCom marketing management. And then once I graduated, then I think like any other marketer, you think, hey, I'm going to work in FMCG.
At Unilever.
Yes, I was like, Unilever. I'm like, you see these products that I'm using here at home. I'm going to start, marketing these products. But as you can tell, I never made it into FMCG, and here I am in banking.
Wow. And you, earlier on, you're sharing a story offline that, you walked into a company called Ubiquitous.
You can't even pronounce it.
What is it? Ubiquitous?
I mean, it was still a fairly new business at the time, which I think, like we were chatting offline, that's 13 years ago, right?
Sure.
But what people got to know in the market was a business called Tyme, which we spell Tyme. And I think a lot of people don't know what that stands for, which is take your money everywhere. So
Oh no, I did not know that.
so that's what people publicly knew as Time, or at least the first time they got to engage with Time.
Wow.
And then I guess we just evolved from Time to TymeBank.
Yeah.
And now here we are as GoTymeBank.
And obviously, a big part of our conversation is going to center around, the rebrand of Time to GoTyme. But also, you started at Ubiquitous. So it seems like you're very well versed when it comes to rebranding in a way.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've gone through different phases of the business, but I guess it's quite interesting because at the time I wasn't necessarily in marketing when the business started.
Yeah.
I started my journey with Time in operations, which now when I look back, I'm like, how did I survive operations?
Yeah.
But so when I joined the business, I started in operations. It was quite a small team. And then over the years, I just expressed to the business that, hey, I know this is where we are, but I am a marketer. This is what I studied. This is what I love.
Yeah.
So as the business grew, then I got to move into marketing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I started right at the bottom as a marketing assistant, and then got to move from being a marketing assistant to being a junior marketing a manager, and then a couple of years later, senior marketing manager, and now I sit here in front of you as the head of brand.
Wow, what a journey. But also, I guess, as someone who's been with the business for such a long time, what would you say? Because a lot of people say, like our peers will say, move around a lot.
Yes, don't sit in one place.
Was there never a point you're like, I know what, maybe I need to go taste
somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I can't say this because I think our CEO, Cheslin, would be very disappointed if I said I did.
Okay.
So, but honestly, for me, I mean, I joined the business when I was fairly young. So for me, it's been, as the business is growing, I'm also growing. And I guess what I also appreciated about the long journey that I've had with the business is a lot. You actually, and I'll speak for myself specifically, I got the opportunity to actually learn quite a lot, right? So when the business started, obviously we're developing products. Yes, you might be in operations, but you're also testing these products in the background, right? So there was a lot of flexibility to move around from one team to the other, which then allowed me to get an understanding of different parts of the business, right? But also I think the one thing that I love about this business is we're not necessarily bound by legacy systems or the fact that, this is how we used to do things and this is it. A lot of the things was a lot of learning, a lot of starting things from scratch. So imagine, the business got launched in 2019. I think around 2017 or 18, I was one of the people to actually go to the Reserve Bank to drop off the banking license document. So not a lot of people can say that they've done that. Right? And now having to start a bank. And I always make this joke internally that our founder, Kun, before we became TymeBank, would come into the operation space and say, we're going to be a bank. We're going to be a bank. And we'd always go, this guy, But right now, I can easily say I'm one of the people that were here in the early days of starting a bank, which is something a lot of people can't say. Yeah. So for me, I agree with you. A lot of our peers would say, hey, move around, better money, better opportunities, all of that, which is, I guess, true for some. But for me, I think the experience that I've had, the journey that I've had with this business is absolutely invaluable. I don't think I would have gotten the opportunity, the access, the exposure that I've gotten so far if perhaps I went somewhere else.
Sure, amazing. Talking about experience, what experience would you say has shaped the type of marketer that you are today?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think, obviously, data and analytics and all of that and getting to understand the customer is quite critical.
Yeah.
But for me, like I said in the beginning when we started, you obviously these products are being built, but you're testing them, you're making sure that, hey, is it working, is it not? So for me, just looking at how we approach that as a business has actually made me realize, okay, it's important to put the customer at the center of every decision that we make. How do they experience this product? Will it help them? Will it make it easier for them? But I mean, customers, I always say the true test of any product, we can build it, we can test it internally. The only true test is when you put it in the market. Customers will show you the loopholes you didn't think about, right? Or will use your product a little bit differently. I think if I were to use an example, not necessarily about us, every ice cream brand that created an ice cream tin didn't think it would be turned into a Tupperware product, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's only when you put it there that customers actually interpret it a little bit differently. But for me, just being part of the on the ground team and testing these products and taking out to market actually made me realize, we definitely have to have the customer at the center of every decision that we make.
Wow, that's amazing. Now moving over to TymeBank and now GoTyme.
Yes.
You know, I'm still stuck on take your money everywhere. You know, it's I didn't know that. I don't know why. But
you can still go take your money everywhere. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So the transition, you know, when did the organization realize that, you know, it's time to move? Because TymeBank was already strong in South Africa.
Yeah.
You know, it was enjoying a strong brand equity.
Yeah.
But, how did that change come about?
Yeah, I think, definitely deciding to do a rebrand is not a simple decision, right? But if we had to look at the business, yes, we were in, since 2012, or 2019 rather, that's when we officially launched. We then had quite a number of customers that signed up with us. But as a business, we were growing, right? We have global ambitions. We were looking at opening a bank. We now have a sister bank, as we were talking offline, in the Philippines. So looking at all of having to speak about our ambitions of growing as a business, we felt that we had to find a way to either, there were multiple discussions that needed to happen, right? Either we reposition, meaning we stick to who we are, we're yellow and black, but we try and appeal to a new audience. So in order to do that, we actually thought and looked at our brand in SA as well as what our sister bank looked like, and I saw that if we had to really look at how we pull in a new audience, we definitely had to change, right? In how we look and how we show up in our customer experience. So there's a number of elements that we had to really look at. But if we felt that this rebrand will actually help us pull in a much bigger audience, a new customer segment that we didn't have as yellow and black.
So actually my follow-up question was going to be like, what strategic problem does this rebrand trying to solve? I guess that's one of...
Yes, it was definitely around our growth. We needed people to really see us as one big player in the market. There's already existing banks in the market, but how do we really stand out and show up? I walked in here with this Tiffany blue or GoTymeBank blue jersey, and you immediately paid attention, right? Yeah. And I don't think you would have, if you would have had the same excitement or intrigue or interest if I came here in my yellow and black. Yeah. So yes, we've built a good set or good foundation as TymeBank, but to signal our global ambitions, to signal our growth, to signal the experience that we wanted our customers to have, we felt that the rebrand and this new look that we have will be able to help us communicate that to a new audience.
And how easy was it?
Not easy. Absolutely not easy. Yeah. Because there's a number of things you need to think about, right? The first thing is the name. Will people resonate with the name? Will people like the name? Will people resonate with what we look like? I think you can agree people don't like change. So will they be comfortable with the change? So there was a lot of things that we really needed to think about, build trust, make customers comfortable with the change that we were were going to take them through. So definitely not easy, but I would say I really enjoy it enjoyed it because we've done it now. And it's just the beginning. What you're seeing is the end result of multiple discussions that happened internally. But yeah, I'm enjoying this journey. I think it's interesting to see how people are reacting to it.
Is there a thing that from the previous time bank that you're keeping in this new brand?
Yeah. So the first thing is our history, right? So this bank started here, right? As much as it's now global, our foundation is here. This business was established in South Africa, so that we're definitely going to never take away from this brand. But what's also important is the accessibility and the trust that we've built around our offering, right? So those are just some of the things we'll continuously keep and continuously provide to our customers, because it's important that they realize, yes, as much as our name has changed, this is still the same bank that you know and love, that still keeps to the normal regulations and, you know, that any other bank would be held to, right? But what slightly we've had to kind of change is the customer experience, is the app that you get to engage with. So our visual identity, yes, has changed, but most importantly, the customer experience that we've now built with this new rebrand, or with the rebrand, has definitely been something we're pushing really hard and have had to change.
Interesting you say that. I mean, this past week I was in Kwaggafontein Mall. In Mpumalanga, Randeville, and I saw your kiosk in in the center court. But then also I walked into a sports scene. Yeah, it was a sports scene, and I also saw.
And then you saw something else again.
Okay. How does that support your customer service, so to speak?
Yeah. So I think one of the big things that we're absolutely focusing on as part of this rebrand is our customer experience, right? So whether that's in the app or physically having to engage with us. So, I mean, we're a digital bank, so meaning there isn't really like a physical thing that says I'm now engaging with this bank, except the app or our card. But what we also realized is customers or South Africans in general, when they think about banking, they think there has to be a branch, there has to be a person,
brick and mortar,
right? And one of our strategies is we don't have brick and mortar, and we don't have ATMs, but we do understand the need that customers have to engage with a human being. So we've now put in the center courts, which I think is what you would have seen, what we're calling customer hubs. And we're basically saying in this customer hub, you can walk in. If you want to open an account, you can do that in under 5 minutes. If you have questions, if you want to get a better understanding of who we are and our offering, there's an ambassador there to have a conversation with. If you want to open an account, that ambassador can also help you. So those, the customer hubs that you've seen are, yes, in a more open space within the retail space, so in the center courts, meaning anyone and everyone that's walking in that space has the opportunity to engage with us. But we're still keeping our strategic retail partnerships, which is TFG and Boxer, meaning if you are a Boxer customer, you will find a kiosk there that you'll be able to open an account with, from rather. If you're in TFG, you're still able to do that. But the hubs actually help us get access to a lot more people that wouldn't necessarily go into those two retail partner stores, but also allows us to actually visually show customers that we have now changed, right? So we need to communicate this rebrand as much as possible. But the fundamental reason behind those hubs is to service our customers better and for them to have a physical interaction with us, because we understand that they do need that human interaction after all. We're talking about money, right? So it's important that you do have that human interaction with someone that can help you open an account.
Seeing that obviously started in store, now in the center court, my suspicion is that you might see a full-on branch.
So, I mean...
the colleague is shaking his head. He's like, nope.
No. So we won't... I mean, if you think about it, yes, the psyche of most South Africans is, I need to walk into a branch, I need an ATM. But those things come at a cost, right? The human being that you're talking to in that branch, again, comes at a cost. Salary. And I'm not necessarily only talking about money as a cost, but time as well. I think right now, and I mean, I can ask you, Pat, I don't know. Personally, for me, I don't even remember the last time I was in a branch. And if I have to go into a branch, I'm literally thinking about the time to drive there, sit there, get a ticket, and wait for your number to be called, right? Yeah. So what we're saying is, yes, if you want to open an account, there's a customer hub that you can go to, but even more so, you can literally use your phone, right? So we have facial recognition that allows you to open an account at the comfort of your own home. And all you need to do is then go into a kiosk, whether it's at the customer hub or at one of the retail partner stores, to collect a debit card. Yeah. But ultimately, we're saying we want to give you your time back. You know, don't spend time at a branch, and we want to give you money back in your pocket. So why do you have to then spend time and money just to to access your money or to bank? Sure. So definitely no plans to have branches. Yeah. I think the hubs can definitely play a role in meeting that. I want to walk into a physical space
and I need to speak to someone
to get assistance or to speak to someone. Yeah. But until I guess our CEO says we need branches, which I highly doubt we will, branches are definitely not in our plans.
Yeah, I mean, earlier on you touched on the fact that you get to be part of sort of the product development in the background, testing it, and. So, with your experience, where do you find that the brand teams and product teams tend to, clash?
So, I mean, the thing is, those two teams were all looking at things differently, right? So the product team is looking at it from this product needs to work from a legal and compliance perspective. Is it meeting those requirements? Whereas I'm looking at it from will this product meet the brand promise? If we're saying we want to give people a beautiful banking experience, does this product meet that? So that's why I guess I could say that there might be a slight clash, but the good thing is there isn't one that's more important than the other. The more critical thing is we need to work together. So, I mean, over the years, yes, in the beginning, it was probably a little bit more siloed. Marketing focus on marketing, product focus on product. Yeah. But over the years, we've actually realized working together makes things a lot easier versus product just building this thing in isolation and then coming to marketing and say,
make it fly. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's always better to be part of that product development journey, get to understand, will this feature, like I said, meet the brand promise that we're putting into the market, so that when it eventually then gets handed over to us to say, now educate people about this product, we're actually able to do that a lot easier. So yes, clashes are there, but I think over the years we've managed to remove as much of the friction as possible.
Sure, that's interesting. So there's a lot of co-creation from the onset.
Absolutely. I think, if I had to look at the various teams that we have, there's no way that marketing can do this in isolation, right? So you need, the product team, you need the customer life cycle team also to make sure that whatever brand promise that you're putting into the market, they're also able to communicate it to our customer base. Legal, compliance, all of that. So everybody plays a role in making sure that, and I mean, the rebrand is a huge testament to that. I can't remember how many huddles we've had every day to make sure that every person in the business is playing their part to make sure that when we finally say we are now GoTymeBank, whichever touch point that the customer engages with, they're able to have quite a beautiful and seamless banking experience.
Amazing. I hear the word experience time and time again.
Yes.
And my next question, I hope it won't be the only answer.
Okay.
In terms of, the banking sector is very competitive, and then there's so many players and everyone says they're better.
Yes.
What is your point of differentiation?
Yes. So, apart from we look different visually.
And it looks soft, man. This new brand looks, it doesn't
we are inviting. We're saying, come bank with us.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. I think definitely there's quite a number of players in the financial services space.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot maybe speaking about low fees and all of that. But I think what makes us a little bit different is we're quite intentional about giving everyone the same level of experience in the app or in banking in general, the same level of treatment and the same level of dignity that anybody would need or require when engaging with a bank, right? So if we look at our proposition, we were quite intentional about absolutely putting more money back in the customer's pocket. So, and if I were to go through some of the pieces of our proposition, our savings product, we give every customer 10% on their savings, right? So whether you're saving 1,000 Rand, 10,000 Rand, 100,000 Rand versus only giving you a certain amount of interest based on the amount of money that you're saving, right? So most people, the less money you save, the less interest you're getting. Whereas we're saying everybody gets the same amount of interest, which is the best interest rate in the country, right? I just have to stress that.
Sure.
And then if we look at how we basically looked at the basics of banking and decided to make them beautiful in how people experience them. And in that instance, like I said, it is our Goal Save product, but also how people are sending money. I think all of us, we either send money to our family, to our friends, we split a bill at a restaurant. So we're able to enable our customers to be able to send money to any South African bank account instantly and for free, right?
Sure.
So again, that's money that you don't need to spend on fees of having to send money to your family member. If you want to send it quicker, I think we all know the normal way is doing immediate EFT.
Yes.
But that immediate EFT comes at a cost, right? So you're paying for the convenience, you're paying for the money arriving on the same day. Whereas we're saying we understand that you need to take care of your family, you need to send money to someone that's in need. Do that as fast as you can, but at zero fee. If you're traveling internationally, again, you don't have to worry about zero fee, or rather Forex fees as you travel. So again, we get zero Forex fees. So you can plan your trip, plan where you want to go, but your transactions are free, right?
Wow.
A lot of us have subscriptions. So you have your Netflix, all of that. Again, there's zero fees on international subscriptions. So we're quite intentional about all of those things, right? So especially when it comes to transactions. So we're actually making sure that we put, like I said in the beginning, the customer first, look at the basics that they need when it comes to banking and actually giving them back their time in terms of opening their account, but also giving them back their money in terms of how they get to access their money or spend their money. So I think that's what makes us, I would say that's quite a huge differentiator for us versus everybody else. We're not saying pay X to get access to these things. We're saying anyone and everyone that opens a GoTymeBank account is able to experience these things for free.
Wow. And then I wonder, how do you make money? It's just yesterday, funny enough, with my other bank, I was chatting to someone, but that's on the business account. And I was quite irritated to learn that, for example, you were talking about international subscriptions. For every Uber trip I book for my team members, I pay like 4 rand. Damn.
So
what are you guys launching in business banking?
Well, I think there's some things that we're definitely fixing or building in the background. So we obviously have a business funding branch or sister office here in South Africa that's in Cape Town. So that's focusing more on business funding across various businesses. But we're definitely looking at kind of expanding that business banking offering quite soon.
Okay, great. So now that the rebrand is done, I mean,
Is it done?
From what I can see, we are now, Tiffany blue, charcoal black, GoTyme blue.
Yes.
What would be the measure that would say this was a successful rebrand?
Yeah.
What are you going to be looking at?
So one of the big things or ambitions that we have in the next by 2030 is to be the most loved bank in this country. So
it's a big ambition.
Absolutely big ambition, and that's what we're working towards, right?
Yeah.
Hence, we've actually looked at how we can make the interaction that customers have with us, whether it's through the customer hubs, whether it's through our app, whether it's through making payments. I mean, how we've built this instant payments feature is in the background, we're actually choosing for you an option that is free, right? So you can pay for it if you're doing more than 5,000 Rand, but if you do payments of 5,000 Rand intervals, it's for free. So all of that technology in the background is something that we're quite intentional about to make sure that the customer has a good experience in the app. So looking at how we improve our customer service, our app, our hubs, all of that, I think, will definitely help us get to that 2030 goal. So if everybody can just get to experience this bank with us, go on this rebrand journey with us, and we get to that goal, that will definitely be a good measure of success for me for this bank.
It seems like you're not too far off from that goal.
Okay.
Because we're now 2026 and you have sort of targeted 2030. 2 days ago, actually, I was at an event by Kantar.
Okay.
And TymeBank emerged as not only one of the exciting brands, but one that is shaking things up.
Yes.
So, yeah, you are a step closer to. You're not far off. If you don't lose the momentum, I guess.
No, we won't. We won't. I think. I mean, we were chatting.
And also, when you receive such news, how does it make you feel?
How does it make me feel? I think it's good to hear that people are talking positively about us in a room that we weren't in. So,
next time I'll give you an invite.
So it's good. It's good to hear that, and I mean, we're looking forward to hearing the full kind of rundown from Kantar, which we'll get in a couple of days as well. But it feels good. I think if thinking of, like I said, all the time and effort and sleepless nights that we've spent in the business to bring this rebrand to life, and if you're getting results like that we're shaking things up, definitely gives us a little bit more confidence to actually push forward with how we've been going. I mean, this is the beginning for us. I guess people are seeing physically or visually that we've changed. But for us, we're still going to push even harder. So the momentum is definitely not going to die down anytime soon.
Wow, amazing. With the rebrand, what has been some of the most surprising things that you had from customers about it?
I don't know about surprising, but for me, I was definitely concerned about how are people going to receive us? Like I said earlier, people don't like change, so it was.
I mean, you have 12 million strong customers,
right? And again, we were asking people to move from one app to the other. So this is not an app update. It's literally move from this app to this one. So the whole journey around moving those customers and migrating them definitely concerned me. But now, I mean, we rebranded in January this year, and I mean, I'm happy to say we have about 4 million customers that have moved over to the new app, and we'll continuously drive really hard to make sure that everybody moves forward. So I'd say for me, that was probably my biggest worry. But now seeing how people are embracing us, I mean, if I go into our social media pages and I look at the comments and I'm seeing people using the GoTymeBank colored heart to say that they love us, they love the new app, they love the new features that we've put in. It really does make me feel a little bit better about, okay, the work work that we're doing and how we can move forward to make this rebrand even more of a success.
Oh, amazing. Just some lessons, for marketers, as you may know, a lot of our audiences are people in the industry.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the sort of misconceptions about rebrands?
Yes. I think the biggest misconception is definitely just change your logo, change what you look like. People will love you. Not going to happen.
Got it.
Yeah, I think you definitely need something to anchor this change, right? So what is this brand promise that you're putting out to the market that can be translated into this logo and visual identity? And you also need to have some level of a emotional connection with customers, right? But for young marketers, I think it's important that actually you don't necessarily look at yourself as, okay, I'm in marketing, let me stick to marketing. I'm not going to interact with the other parts of the business. If you do that, I think you'll be doing yourself a huge disservice because there's no way marketing can succeed without that entire interaction. And I think I've shared that with you as we're going through a conversation, right? Yeah. So there is, marketing has everybody says we have the fun job where we kind of go, here's this thing and it's living up to what we stand for. Yeah. But absolutely, it's important to build relationships internally, work quite closely with that product development team, work quite closely with PR, work quite closely with our customer comms teams, because once all of those different pieces work together, then you're able to actually give customers a better understanding of who you are, and they actually get to also understand the experience that you expect them to get, right? Customer service is also another big part. So as much as we can say, yes, we want to give you a beautiful experience, but our customer service isn't living up to that, or the customer hubs are not living up to that, then it creates quite a huge disconnect within the business. So it's important that as a marketer, don't just look into your scope, but actually expand that across other parts of the business.
So before undertaking a rebrand, what should a business have in place? What is the one thing that must be there?
First,
budget?
Budget, yes. I mean, we're in marketing, so we need the budget. Yeah. But I think it's also just making sure that you have the right systems in place, right? So like I was saying, we had to move people from one app to the other. So we needed to make sure that the infrastructure in the background actually makes sense and can actually deliver on this new app that we're trying to build. So also just from a regulatory perspective, it's important that we still give people the comfort of saying your money is safe, you can still access your money. And I think, just some of the things, just from a legal compliance perspective, there's a number of things that you definitely need to have in place before you kind of go, hey, I'm now reintroducing myself as GoTymeBank. Sure.
In your journey, is there, obviously it wasn't, I'd say, all hunky-dory, Was there ever an experience that you're like, you say, I wish I did, or we did that better?
Well,
like a failure.
Rebrand. I guess there was a lot of we built the app in the most, so that customers experience it in the most simplest of ways. But there were definitely quite a number of features that our consumers were saying, hey, why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? So we definitely, I feel like we had to take a step back and actually listen to the customer and say, what are these loopholes within our app that we need to improve, whether that's from a safety and security perspective or whether that's from a feature perspective. So when we then moved on to this new brand or this new app, we absolutely took that into account and said, okay, even something as simple as contactless payments, right? People want to have control over that, to turn off the card tap feature, which is something we didn't have in our in our old app. So in this new one, we were quite intentional about making sure that that feature is there because our customers were quite vocal about it. I mean, yeah, like I said, you build something, you take it to the market, and then people are just like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of features, like I said, that we've definitely made sure that we improve and make better within the new app. Yeah. Whether that's, like I said, our instant payments feature, whether that's adding more payment options in our wallet. I mean, there's Huawei, there's Google Pay, there's all of that, Apple Pay. So we had to really think about how we incorporate those things from the old app into the new app so that customers actually get what they need, right? When having to transact.
In your view, what do you think the future of banking looks like?
So I think, and maybe I'm going to be biased because I'm looking at it from my lens.
Yeah.
I always use this example in some conversations. For me, I don't want, and we were talking about our children earlier.
Yeah.
I definitely do not want my son nor your daughter to be experiencing banking the way we did, right? So having to walk around with paperwork, having to sit on a phone call to talk to someone to help you open an account, all of those things shouldn't be part of the journey for you to interact with the customer. So for me, I think the future definitely looks more accessible, looks more with less fees, right? Or zero fees if wherever possible. But for me, I think the future looks like banking the way it should have been in the beginning, right? Having the bank work for you, right? Versus you're paying the bank to work for you or to keep your money. So absolutely convenience, rewards, accessibility, all of those things I think will play quite a huge part in how even existing banks look at how banking should be going forward.
Wow, interesting. So we have also in our audience young entrepreneurs, small business owners. I mean, thinking about the story of TymeBank, which started, 7 years ago or so?
Well, 7 years, but the business 13 years.
Yeah. The business is 13 years. Challenger brand. I mean, I'm sure if we were to compare your marketing budgets versus, the other banks,
we had to make it work really hard.
Absolutely. And having met your CEO, I know exactly what that looks like. What advice would you give a small business owner that's starting out and that doesn't have big marketing budgets, but also has ambitions, to grow?
Yeah. So I think having a budget, I mean, I'm in marketing. The more money you have, the better, right? You get to tell the story a little bit better.
At a bigger scale.
But I think the most important thing I would say for most business owners is don't look at the budget. Rather focus on the service that you want to give. Be consistent in how you're delivering that service. If it's about better quality products, better customer engagement, rather focus on those things, because if you're consistent in how you and intentional in terms of how you deliver, if you have a business that's printing t-shirts, make sure that those t-shirts are of good quality. How you engage with the customers in the order process is always consistent and clear. And the handover of the product, if you work on a beautiful packaging that allows them to really think about you the next time they want another t-shirt, all of those things ultimately will pay off, right? So if I have a wonderful experience with this brand or with you as a business owner, word of mouth is going to play a huge part here, right? Because I'm going to tell the next person, this t-shirt that I got from Pat, wonderful product, good quality, and he was quite helpful in communicating with me throughout the order journey, and the money will come, right? And the more people then come and buy this product, then you'll have a little bit of money to play with in your budget. But I don't think you should be basing your success or the ability to market better on money, because if that was the case, we wouldn't be having 12 million customers if we had to rely on big budgets.
Absolutely. I mean, I can relate with what you're saying, and if I remember how I was even even exposed to the TymeBank brand. It was through my mentor Pilar.
Yes.
You know, and he was like,
yes.
I remember having a meeting with him in your offices in Rosebank, and he started telling me about it. Like, dude, why are you spending so much money on, banking fees? And then I was like, okay, so word of mouth actually, especially in the beginning, I think does really account for something. Now let's speak to a young marketer, that's at UJ doing their third year or fourth year, who wants to, grow in this field of marketing and branding. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I think it's important to really think about where you want to be within marketing. So, I mean, I've spoken to a few people, even in our business, that just see marketing as this glitz and glam. We have fun.
I saw the launch. Ooh,
we definitely had fun there. Right?
That's what they think marketing is.
Absolutely. So I think it's important that you actually are quite intentional about what role you want to play within marketing, because it's not just advertising, right?
Yeah.
There's whether that's customer communication within the CLM space, whether that's paid digital performance marketing, social media. There's quite a lot of bits and pieces that actually make up marketing.
Yeah.
So it's quite important that as a person you make sure that you quite understand where within this marketing space you want to be in. And just be true to yourself. I mean, when I studied BCom, my BCom in marketing management, I hated statistics.
You and I, analytical techniques.
I hated statistics. And then I also, there was, I don't know if you had industrial psychology as one of your subjects.
Yeah.
I thought I would like psychology. Maybe it was the lecturer. No shade to him. But if I didn't have like that outlook of where I wanted to be within marketing, I probably would have said, I don't want to do statistics. I don't want to do industrial psychology. And then along the way, I would have probably looked at something else. But if you really love creative thinking, there is an element of numbers, so you can't really move away from that. I think, it's important to actually be clear about where in this marketing sphere or space you want to be in. And I think you probably have a lot of fun. If you go into FMCG, I think they're definitely having quite a lot more fun than banking. Banking is not sexy, but we're making it sexy. You said we look soft and welcoming.
It really looks good. I mean, anyone who says otherwise, they're hating.
Thank you.
Lastly, I mean, when all is said and done, with GoTyme, what do you hope it will always be known and remembered for? Yeah,
I think it's if I were to look back a couple of years from now, for me, what would give me 2030, right? So obviously,
most loved
bank, but I think I would really love for people to look back and think about how they engaged with the bank before we came into the scene, and actually to realize that we've made banking a lot less intimidating. We've given people the respect and dignity that they deserve when interacting with the bank, but also we actually made banking what it should be. We went back to the basics and gave people what they needed when it comes to banking, and gave them a seamless and beautiful experience. But ultimately, we made banking what it should be, right? Wow. 0 fees, accessible anywhere, and at the comfort of your own home.
Oh, amazing. That sounds really great. Earlier on, when I said, the rebrand is done, you were like, is it really done? So can you please give us, you had it first on Passion Brands. Like, what else do you have, up your sleeves? I mean, we just halfway through the year. We're now approaching, obviously, the festive season. So, what else can we expect?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I think
I can see your PR is looking like, let's hear what she's going to... I'm going to do some damage control after this.
But I think the important thing is people need to watch the space. I'll say that. There's absolutely some exciting things coming up in the next few months. By the end of the year, people are it will probably be closer to that most loved bank ambition.
Wow.
And if they follow our socials, I mean, I've given some clues somewhere here and there from our social media team about what's coming. Some interesting partnerships, great engagement with this brand. Like I said, there isn't like a physical thing that you can touch because we're a digital service or a digital bank. But with everything that we're building right now as a marketing team, I think people will definitely enjoy engaging with us in the next few weeks.
Lucia, I can't thank you enough for making the time to join us and have this wonderful chat with us. And we wish you all the best, and we can't wait to see what you have up your sleeves.
Cool. Thank you for having me.
And if there's someone who's watching this and they're like, oh, she's a brilliant mind, I'd like to engage with her further, what's the best way people can reach you?
I mean, I'm on LinkedIn, Lucia Malapane. They can send me a message there, and then let's see how we move this forward. I'm happy to hear how people think about this brand and what they think about the work that we're doing. And if they want to be part of this family, also they can send me a message.
DMs are open, guys. We had it. DMs are open. All right. From me, Pat Mahlangu, South Africa, we love you.
Thank you.
Pat. It's Pat on Brands. Watch how you branded, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Let it be branded, man. A pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous.